The friends, here are 5 ways I stopped my emotional eating and lost 50 pounds in 3 months. Number 1. I was hiding food and eating it in secret, and it was because I was ashamed of what I was eating, how much I was eating, and I was really embarrassed to show people. But I learned secrets keep you sick. The more I kept it in, the more my shame and guilt grew, and it just made it worse. So I had to tell someone that I trusted. If you don't have anyone that you can trust, that you feel comfortable with sharing this stuff with, then you can journal. Before I had anyone that I could trust, before I met Kyle, and even when we were first dating, I wasn't quite ready to share that I really struggled with emotional eating yet. I wrote in a journal, and this is my journal, and I'm gonna share a couple of excerpts from it. But before I do, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. If you have emotional eating, please seek professional help. This is just my experience and what I did. I ate too much tonight. I made myself feel really uncomfortable. I need to tell myself it's okay. I need to be kind to my body and myself. I'll be okay. Next one. I had a chocolate bar for a snack today. I'm okay with it right now, but I keep wanting to eat more sweets. I'm gonna keep this book close and write when I feel the need to eat. Why am I feeling the need to eat? Is it loss of control? Hard to share that sometimes even still. Number 2, I couldn't keep certain foods in the house without eating the entire thing all at once really fast. So the first thing I had to do was eliminate those trigger foods, get them out of the house completely. But I also realized, like, by eliminating those foods, I also then wanted to eat them more. So I got rid of the big packages, chips, ice cream, like all the big tubs, and I had individual or single serving size versions of all of those. And what I would do is I would only buy enough for the week, and like Kyle, my husband, struggled with this too, so we did this together. We would only buy enough for the week, and we would label our servings with our names on them, and we would also label it with the day of the week, so that we didn't want to eat our Monday snack, because we wanted to make sure we had it. I also wasn't going to eat Kyle's portion, so it helped us get used to only eating what we had, but also allowing the food, allowing us to have the treats, not depriving ourselves, but also, when the portion was done, it was done. Number 3, I was eating when I wasn't hungry, because a lot of this had nothing to do with food. It was about my guilt about food and how I ate underneath. So what I had to do was make myself little lists and little cards that had questions on them. And I would put these little sheets of paper, I decorated them really cute so that they would be attractive and like grab my eye, and I put them everywhere where I ate, especially where I was eating like in secret, and I would put them everywhere, like the fridge, in my car, in my room, wherever, on my mirror in the bathroom. Ask questions like this: are you actually hungry? If the answer was yes, I would give myself like a snack that would be filling so that I wouldn't feel the need to keep eating. But if the answer was no, I would say, well, what are you feeling right now? Did you have a bad day? Are you bored? Are you sad? Are you scared? Are you lonely? Why are you going for food when you're not hungry? Once I figured out why, then it would buy me time to sort of figure out, okay, I don't want to eat, so now I need to get away from the food and go work through why am I feeling the need to eat. And that really helped. I also put pictures of myself as a little girl with all of those little question cards. I keep some in my journal as a reminder at the front here. So why this worked is because try talking negative when you eat something to like a little child. Like, try saying the negative things that you say to yourself as an adult to a little kid. It's very difficult to do that, to put down a child. I'm not gonna make a little girl eat when they're not hungry. Why would I do that to this little girl, this little Nicole? Well, she's not hungry. Why would I make her eat? What's bothering her? I would want to find out why, what's bothering her? Why does she want to eat? I wouldn't just shove it down and say, yeah, eat this and numb yourself. I would actually try to figure it out. I'd be gentle to her. I'd say, it's okay. You don't have to hide it. You can trust me. So this really helped me stop and think so that I would have a few minutes, treat myself better, and then try to work through why I was eating when I wasn't hungry. Number 4, I had obsessive thoughts about food that took up 100% of my day. The reason is because I labeled food good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. I felt so bad. I took it on that I was a bad person, and I realized that I was making food illegal. So I had to legalize food and remember that there's no good or bad food. There are some that's more nutrient dense than others, but all food is on the table and I can have it, but I need to learn how to eat a little less of it so that I can lose the weight, and I was morbidly obese, so I needed to save my life. Legalizing the food really helped. And then what I had to do alongside of that, because it's not easy right away, was make a list of things to do that had nothing to do with food. Things that I really loved that would distract me until I didn't need the distractions anymore, so that I wouldn't be around the food and it would take my mind off of the food. And this is actually my real list. Do my nails. I love doing my nails, but also it's very hard to eat when you have wet nails because you don't want to smudge them. So my biggest problem was eating at night. So I would do my nails. I still actually do my manicures at night. It's something I love to do, takes my mind off of food. And again, you can't eat when your nails are wet. Go for a walk, write, play computer games. I'm old, there was no cell phones. Talk it out. I now have somebody that I can trust in Kyle, so I'll tell him, hey, I want to eat right now and I'm not hungry. Play with Hank. Hank was our dog. He's passed away, but that was something that helped me. And read. I love to read. So make a list of things that you love that will help you take your mind off of food. Keep your hands busy. I know a lot of people, and I did at one point going through emotional eating, they knit, because it takes their mind off of food and it keeps their hands busy. Number 5, I couldn't stop eating until the food was gone or I made myself actually feel physically sick. How I dealt with this kind of goes along with the legalizing the food, having a list of things that have nothing to do with food, getting professional help, and working through learning how to eat a little less with putting your food in meal prep containers to portion them out so that you only have what is necessary, what you need to eat for the day. And then when the container's empty, it signals to you it's empty. And it's not going to be super smooth at first, but it gets you used to the idea of you can do this. When the container's empty, you now have to find something else to do, not the eating. Go do something fun, do the list, look at your questions. Why are you eating more? I also had to make sure that my diet was in check because I wasn't really drinking a lot of water, so I wasn't hydrated. If you're not hydrated, your body will actually send you signals that you're hungry. And so if you're hydrated, then you're not gonna get as many hunger cues and cravings for things. Plus, I was so ashamed of food and I wasn't legalizing it that I was restricting a lot. I was taking away whole food groups, carbs. There was a point where actually I took away all meat when I was a teenager. I did a lot of things that were actually causing me to have a lot of cravings and eat way more because my diet wasn't balanced. So put your hydration in check, put your diet in check, and then look at the list of things to keep your mind off of food while you're working through the underneath piece, the not about food piece. What's making you feel guilty? Get it out and write it out. So I did combine these steps with portion control to get into a calorie deficit to lose the weight, and 15 minutes of walking every day. I started at 275 pounds, and after the 3 months, when I lost the first 50 pounds, I was 225 pounds, and I've lost a total of 130 and kept it off for 9 years. It did take me the remainder of that year plus one more to lose the total of the weight. It does take time because I had so much weight to lose. The first 50 came off very fast, and then it kind of goes slow and steady wins the race. Be patient with yourself. Find things that you enjoy eating and then work on the eating just a little bit less at a time while you're working on this. And again, this is just my experience and what worked for me. And it did take me 2 years to fully lose the weight, because after I lost my first 100 pounds, Kyle and I were going to get married, and I decided to try to speed up the weight loss by taking away treats, and that brought back my emotional eating. And I was starting to sneak like treats from our wedding that we were putting aside for a candy bar. I was sneaking them all, and I ended up gaining back 10 pounds that I had lost. So I needed to get back on track. I had to lose that 10 pounds plus the remaining weight that I had, and that's why it took me that long. But mistakes are normal. Weight loss is not linear, so take it one step at a time and one day at a time, and don't expect yourself to be perfect, especially if you struggle with emotional eating as much as I did. It's gonna take time, and you just have to keep working on being honest, remembering that this is not a punishment. You're allowed to like stuff, you're allowed to eat food, you're allowed to legalize it, and you're allowed to do this in a way that works for you, because you're the one that's got to work through this, and you're the one that's got to do this for life. You don't just lose the weight and the emotional eating and the weight is gone. I have to keep myself in check every single day, but I'm worth it to do that, and so are you. And I hope this helps anybody struggling. Kyle and I did it. You are worth doing this. It does take time. It's not easy, but you are worth it and you can do it. You're not alone and you're loved. Just know that. And if you can't express it to anyone else, you can put it in the comments if you feel comfortable. Hey, I'm struggling, guys. We're all here for you. All the friends plus Kyle and I. Remember, again, this is not a punishment. You have to love what you're doing so that you can stick to this and work through this issue. I lost my weight with portion control, like I said. If you want to know the exact portions and meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and code Nicole will save you 10%. I also have HTLT Steps best tasting protein powder ever. I love putting a scoop of the maple cookie in plain fat-free Greek yogurt because it makes a really great low-cal, high-protein fruit dip. It's delicious, so you gotta try it. Code Nicole will save you 15%, and the link is down below for this. You can also watch this vid for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips, because Sass and I, we're real friends losing weight in the real world, and we deal with the whole thing, the food part and the underlying part. So you come here, you get the full picture, we're honest, we've been through it, we love you, you're worth doing this. I'll catch you in the next vid, cutie. Peace it, and peace it, sweetheart. See ya. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here, heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it.